of men telling me, oh, well, you know, you hardcore. Yes, I am.
Can you handle it?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
what you bringing to the table? I am the table.
And when was the last time?
If we're going to talk about the problem, let's talk about the problem in its totality. The fact about it is, when you talk about white America being pissed, white America is going to always find a reason that doesn't fit their narrative or what have you. But what white America fails to talk about, and what never ceases to amaze me, is the fact that the biggest threat is not going to come from blacks. The biggest threat is coming from within. You look at the average person that's been committing some of the most heinous crimes over the days, it's 22 to 29-year-old white males, right? Look at how ready they were.
It's just not true, man. Violent crime, you just said, like you said, a small percentage of the country, about 12 to 13%, 50% of the violent crime. But the murder, a 12 times likelihood.
That's a skewed stat.
If you just, so you don't listen to them?
No, I said that particular stat is skewed.
It's not skewed. These are from the FBI, DOJ.
13,
And you know what else we look at? We look at Roland Fryer from Harvard.
I think what I miss the least about the states is the insincere discussions on race, pretending that it just doesn't really matter and that all you have to do is be a XYZ person and things would just magically be okay. But we know better than that. We know that it's a complex system, and the longer that you go denying its existence, the more frustrating it is trying to acknowledge it. And that loop, I do not miss it at all. In this conversation, you're hearing Steven Crowder trying to explain to a barbershop full of black men how it's Jermaine's fault, that you're basically what's wrong with America, and you should agree with me because, well, I got the right stats. And it points to why black men have to make songs like,
When was the last time that they heard you say?
Otherwise we could not exist in this environment.
Darling, oh best friend, I love you.
Roland Fryer from Harvard, who conducted it, black professor, really respectable guy, honorable man, conducted a study, and he came out and he said, yeah, all of my research says that black men are 0% more likely to be shot by police officers than whites. Black people got so mad at him, he reconducted the study, a black man from Harvard, and he came to the same conclusion, and now he's not black enough.
Wait, so let me see if I understand you clearly.
Yeah.
You're saying, according to this guy's statistics, right, that black people are 0% less likely to be shot by a white police officer.
A liberal professor at Harvard, yes, and he conducted it twice.
You can understand why I just don't like talking about race when it comes to America, because the whole world saw George Floyd. They were marching in Japan even. And to go on television and say basically, it's the same. I don't think that Japanese people can believe that. But here we have someone not only saying it, but a very popular person saying it, and thousands and thousands of comments basically supporting what he's saying. So why even bring it up? It just gets tiring because he's saying it's the same for you guys and us. So what are you complaining about?
Because black people said what you're saying. He goes, look, I was as surprised as you. I was trying to find how much worse it is. My data showed me it's not. He reconducted the study an entire time. Now, he did come to the conclusion that an officer is 18 times more likely to be shot than a black man by an officer. This is a black liberal who studies statistics. At what point do you listen to him?
He may be a black liberal.
Once again,
And I don't believe him.
That's skewed too.
Institution, and if he comes out and says something of the sort, there's no telling the backlash that he may not get. Listen, there are token blacks in every society. I mean, all you have to do is look back throughout.
And there we go, right?
And this is, again, it's frustrating. I don't even like to really highlight this except for the fact that as a black man in this environment, how can you speak up for yourself when basically you're telling someone who's come into your barbershop, hey, listen, what you're telling us, the stats, they're not matching with our experience. And he says, yeah, but my stats are right. It's your experience that's wrong. And that's the black male existence in America since the inception of the country.
Uncle Tom, this guy, come on.
No, but here's my thing, Steve, right? I'm not alleging that the guy wasn't Uncle Tom, but let's be frankly honest. How many shootings have happened in most recent history that have involved black black men that have been unarmed, and you sit here and use that analogy that black men are zero times. Listen, as a totally blind individual, listen, I'm even apprehensive. There was an incident where the police stopped us, and it was my cousin and I. My cousin is a retired military vet or what have you, right? And immediately when we got out of the car, out of fear of possibly being shot, the first thing I did was raise my cane and say, "Officer," I said, "listen, I am totally blind."
The one for whom you give your very life.
This video is not to speak on the Barbershop interview with Steven Crowder. It's more about the environment that made us as black men what we are, and made us the kind of men that are able to make songs that sound like
Yeah, I agree. You can't legislate what's in a man's heart.
Yeah.
But you can't throw out everything. You can't go, that scat skewed. That black guy from Harvard who was always a liberal who did it twice, it's skewed. You can't throw it out.
How often do you see black police killing unarmed white people?
Actually,
How often do you see that? How often do you see that?
well, I tell you, actually, the stats show that when you're dealing with armed white people versus black armed people, white armed people are more likely to be shot by the cops than black.
However you feel about the Steven Crowder interview, you may want to deny everything that black men are saying and just think that black men are the worst men in the country and that if you got rid of black men, everything would be fine. Fine, whatever. But if you look at our existence from our point of view, and that's what you face when you're outside, and then you come home to something like this on the inside.
I don't understand why you wouldn't want a woman like me. I am successful, I'm rich, I can fight. I will say it, I love men, thanks.
Yeah.
But I don't love a stupid man. If you can't be with my peace, you can be with the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're in your masculine area. Well, why don't you get in yours? I'm sick of men telling me, oh, well, you know, you hardcore. Yes, I am. I am.
Can you handle it?
Oh, well, what you bringing to the table? I am the table.
Salute to Leslie Jones. Of course, she has a right to have the personality that she has because it gets her paid. But imagine that there are several generations of black men that on the outside was dealing with that world that the men in the black barbershop are telling Steven Crowder exists, and he is vehemently denying it. And then you go from that world home where you might have someone like Leslie Jones, who's essentially telling you, I'm the table, you need to serve me. And that turns many of us black men into the kind of man that could sing a song like Stevie Wonder, where you're singing a song about singing I love you because you don't know what's going to happen to you when you go outside, but you come in and you basically find a reason or a way to romanticize saying I love you to the people in your home under the most trying of home circumstances and situations.
It's your fault.
No, it's not my fault.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not.
Miss Lahai, let me explain something. Somebody is going to have the last word here, and I guarantee you, guaranteed, it's going to be me.
He over there acting all just like he ain't want to say nothing now. You know that's exactly what happened too. Didn't nobody pile your...
Listen to me! Where do you think you are? You think you're on Springer? You're not. You're not. You want to go to a therapist? Go someplace.
No, I don't need a therapist.
Listen to me.
I don't need to see a therapist.
Only one person is going to have. Only one person. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000.
No. What about my computer? But what about my computer?
That's all.
What about my computer? But you gonna sit here and let me? You gonna walk away like that? That don't even make no sense. What about my computer? I don't get no chance to say nothing.
I told you. It's my playpen. I have the word.
You don't hear nothing I gotta say about nothing.
Go someplace else.
Hello, Sophie. Sophie, I think I need you to help me sing this song. You think you can sing to the left? Say, to the left, to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sing. To the left, to the left. Yeah!
At first thought, you might think that this is a run-of-the-mill video, and I don't really see any relation, but this is a young blind girl, and she's singing a Beyonce song. I don't know how many songs she knows, but the song that she does know is about telling a guy to put his stuff in a box and go to the left, to leave. This is opposite of Stevie Wonder singing a song about, when I leave the house, I need to tell the people in my immediate circle that I love them. This is a young blind girl, and when she thinks of Beyonce, she's thinking about a song telling a man to put his stuff in a box and get out to the left.
One more time, Sophie. Say.
And that is one of the marks that Beyonce, and I hate to say it, but black women in entertainment, at least modern times, are going to leave on the world. That you can tell your man to leave.
I don't see an Irish or an Italian or they don't get on the soapbox to tell you, as an Irish woman
They don't
or
down
an
their own.
Italian woman, how you're the worst and this is why I don't want you.
What if they do? And
They
what if
don't.
we just don't see it?
No,
because we're not
I'm on their pages.
We see it because unless you live in a skewed corner where you only are exposed to just blackness, then maybe you don't know.
I'm sure many people don't like to do it. That's why we say blame Jermaine. But if you look at all of this from the black male's point of view, you understand that there are many forces pushing in on black men. And even in this conversation, she's saying a little bit of critique, dare I say criticism from black men, seems like overhanded oppression, because until the internet, pretty much, we didn't really even know what the point of view of black men even was. Oprah had a decade plus on national television, bringing out all kinds of people that were not black men speaking for black men. And when black men speak a little bit, it's this reaction.
If you are exposed to the world, because it is a very big world, it doesn't happen. It's not a thing that we don't see it. It's not they just don't do it. Yes, you're right. They may be critical of their women, but they're not getting on this soapbox. Like, black men are so quick to get on a soapbox and tell every reason why you hate black women.
You are not taking the card. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
There is no groceries. I would have
Steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes, how do you man? How do you man? You see love and respect. No. How do you man? No, you're not taking the card.
Stephen,
You're not taking the card.
Stephen,
you are not.
Then I will ask them to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not correct, Stephen.
Give it an Uber.
I'll leave it to you to decide how you want to decipher the juxtaposition between how Steven Crowder acted with his, I think, ex-wife now, and how he's talking in the barbershop. But that said, we can't act like Steven Crowder in our domestic situations. Not even close. That's why we're so good at love songs, because if we're in Steven Crowder's situation, we're probably singing some kind of love song or writing some kind of love poem saying, baby, take me back, because that's our reflex. But we, as black men, especially the ones of us going overseas, need to practice a different muscle. We need to work a different muscle, and it sounds like this one.
Queer.
Bye, Felicia.
Women like to say that men who get rejected become the rudest in the world, which I somewhat agree. However, have you ever rejected a girl from sex? Have you ever said, I'm not piping you today? That reaction, that's a reaction. She's gonna call you gay, bro.
Regardless of what people say about black men, we as black men know ourselves better than any other group of people, and people would like to cast their propaganda upon us. But the truth of the matter is, many of us are very willing to repair relationships that don't need repairing. The idea of these 3 word song is that the outside out there is so vicious and the inside in here is so amazing that I got to tell you these 3 words no matter what's going on inside of here. When sometimes it's not the 3 words you should be saying, but the 2 words that came from Craig, the bye Felicia. It's a muscle that many of us need to practice operating, especially when we go overseas where a young lady might go too far and cross the line, and instead of begging her to stay thinking that you found your perfect woman because love can make it work, we might need to push a little bit further to the other end of the spectrum so that we can find our true balance.
You're not in a relationship or nothing.
Never getting in one.
Never.
Never. Situationships only.
Never.
Never. Situationships. That's a new thing.
Th-
It's a new thing in life. Situationships. No relationships. Situationship.
What is a situationship?
Friends with limited benefits. Less questions.
How do you establish that?
I tell you from the front.
Like, okay, so if me and you was to go on a date, right?
Right.
And I say, well, you're going to ask me out, right? So.
It kind of right, because I be getting asked out a lot, but go ahead.
Okay, well, they're desperate. But I'm just saying. not.
I'm listening.
Not saying you.
I'm just saying. Go ahead, yo.
I'm just because I'm never asking no man out.
You never know the kind of position you get put in.
You can see that she's shocked by his reaction because for many of us as black men, our default is to wine and dine a woman and to hope to find a way to make her like us. Instead of saying, hey, listen, if she likes me, she likes me. If she doesn't, she doesn't. Or if she crosses the line, bye, Felicia. Because truth be told, many of the heartbreak stories that you have heard, are hearing, or will hear in the future have a lot to do with the fact that we as black men are so willing to mend relationships that we shouldn't be mending. We're willing to deal with situations, endure situations that we shouldn't be enduring. And even though you hear someone like Steven Crowder essentially saying black men are this and that, we're not, very safe people and we commit a bunch of crime and all that stuff, he can be in his house and say, hey, listen, you're pregnant, but still, this is the way I run my house. And I'm not saying that it's perfect or not. What I am saying is that's in him. And that is not in many of us to say, hey, listen, I do my thing a certain way. And if you're not going to be on my program, then you got to go. Bye, Felicia. I'm not saying it's perfect, and I'm not saying it's good or bad. What I am saying is that as black men, we over-index on these 3 words and not these 2 words. And it would be a good idea for men heading overseas to understand that those 2 words can put a young lady in line, or better yet, put you in line for a better young lady when you leave. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care, guys.